It is very practical. I do believe that this is what is happening right now, and this is a good address for Ukrainian people so that would know what to do. You see, Russians are in despair. They are trying to get people to fight for them in the front. They are gathering people with a draft inside the country. And of course, they are trying to get men in the temporary occupied territories to fight on their side. They're threatening people with their lives, and they are threatening with the lives of their relatives and say, go fight on our side. And people don't know what to do. So this is the advice the president is giving them. Go, sabotage, and then switch to Ukrainian side as soon as you can. And it's a good strategy, especially in the situation like this. What we need to look at closely is that it is all signs of Russia collapsing at some point, because the winning side does not try to take the last people staying at the occupied territories to fight on their side, because it's too risky, and of course it is just like a losing tactics.
It is a very interesting idea that is being put forward. Because it must be incredibly difficult for those men who are being conscripted, not knowing what to do, not wanting to fight, are clearly against fellow Ukrainians.
Yes, absolutely. And this shows you again that Russia does not honor any international laws, that they are breaking every single rule on the list, and committing every single war crime on the list. And of course, they will not be possible for them to fight effectively with the army that will be combined with people who do not want to fight from occupied territories, people who do not want to fight from Russian territories. And this is why we need to figure out effective mechanisms to let people switch to Ukrainian side and basically just drop Russia.
And this all seems to be becoming so very much more dangerous for ordinary citizens, particularly in those occupied regions that Russia is saying they're going to hold referendums, because even ordinary citizens, even those who aren't conscript-type ages, are going to be forced to vote, and we don't know how that's going to work.
We have seen videos yesterday and today of people who are walking around with the guns, pushing citizens on the temporary occupied territories to go and to vote for like so-called separatistic territories. We understand that, again, this is all unlawful, completely illegal, and what Russia is doing, they are just trying to motivate people, most of all inside their country, saying, look, we conquered those territories, now we are getting it added to Russia. Again, this has zero legal results. This has completely against all the international laws, and we know that international community will never accept those referendums, not even as the ones that were actually held in the territories. But it is again part of Putin tactics. This is why we are urging our army to push forward, to liberate as many areas as possible, and to make sure that people are free and do not have to participate in anything like this.
Just a quick thought, Kira Rudik. What do you want the international community to do at this stage? We know arms are still being supplied, there is still that support, but does more need to be done now?
Of course. First of all, it's never enough of weapons and money, because every single day we need more. You see how effective we are with the weapons that are delivered, because you see that we are regaining more and more Ukrainian territories. However, there are a couple of practical steps that we are urging international community to make. First one is to kick Russia off the United Nations. I am just back from New York, where we have all seen that Russia is blocking all the good international initiatives from the Security Council. This needs to stop. We need to be able to work closely with all the members of the democratic countries that are in the United Nations to resolve the issue. Second point is visas. I want to ask you one thing. So there are people who were in Bucha massacre, who were killing Ukrainians, raping women, and then they returned to Russia. And then it was possible for them to obtain visa to European countries or even to Britain. And they can be like walking around right now, just freely sitting in restaurants, drinking tea. So do you think it is fair? Isn't it dangerous to do that? So this is why we are urging all the European countries to ban visas for Russians and make sure that they remain in Russia and that they do not pose a threat to the international community, to the citizens of the peaceful countries that are supporting Ukraine. And there is a progress on that. Some of the countries already canceled visas for Russians. These are mostly Baltic countries, and we are working closely with Poland and Czech to do that as well. But this is what can be done practically right now. Kick Russia off the UN and cancel visas for Russians.